The Monroe Sheriff's Office wants to let people know about a scam targeting grieving families. Scammers are posing as funeral home employees and demanding payments for funeral costs. They tell people if they don't pay, the funeral will be canceled. Jasmine Lee spoke with the director of a funeral home who says this is a terrible way to target victims.
I'm here at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office where they are investigating a scam after a family sent thousands of dollars to someone posing as a local funeral director.
It's a feeling of disgust.
Milton Hurd is the director of the Monroe County Memorial Service Funeral Home.
They had already even paid for the service, and yet they still fell for the scam.
Scammers impersonated Hurd, calling up a person who already paid for the funeral and took more money. They even threatened to cancel the service if they didn't pay. Hurd says, unfortunately, bereft families are easy targets.
They're taking advantage of someone that has probably been up for several nights in a row. They've been grieving. They're not thinking on their best game.
He thinks it's mainly older people who are being targeted.
They're mainly hitting senior citizens who are not as tech savvy with technology.
This isn't the first time scammers have pretended to be calling from the funeral home. A few months ago, Hurd says something similar happened, but the culprits were arrested.
Someone called the family and said they needed to meet them at the bank to pay with cash.
During one of the hardest times in your life, it's difficult to think of someone plotting to take advantage of you, but Sheriff Brad Freeman says it's happening.
Going through the obituaries, find a family member that's lost a loved one, and then, calling them.
The victim in this most recent case was scammed out of thousands of dollars.
The most vulnerable part of their life, probably, when they've lost a loved one, and tell them that the funeral arrangements have been stopped because they owe them money.
Now, Sheriff Freeman says this is still an ongoing investigation and a family hopes to receive their money back. In Monroe County, Jasmine Lee, 13 WMAZ News.
Now, Sheriff Freeman says to try and contact the funeral home director you're working with before making any payments over the phone. If you get a similar call, report it to the Federal Trade Commission and contact the Sheriff's Office.